Have you ever wondered, my brave soul, why you are so desperate to narrate the story of your own life to anyone who will listen? Why you throw open the doors of your private temple and invite in strangers to tread, unwashed and curious, across your sacred floors? I ask you, who told you that your truth needs to be public property, a spectacle for the indifferent crowd? Why this compulsion to report every tremor of your heart, every ache of your flesh, every flickering thought in your skull? Ah, I know why. Because silence terrifies you. Because the unsaid throbs within you like a wound you cannot bear alone. Because you believe, in secret, that your life has no weight unless it is witnessed, applauded, validated. But listen to me. This is a sickness of the modern soul, a new idolatry. You worship at the altar of the audience. You sacrifice your mystery, your solitude, your power. You become a beggar for scraps of attention. You want likes, applause, eyes fixed upon you, proof that you exist. But what are you really doing? You are selling yourself cheap. You are exposing your strength, your weaknesses, your doubts, your secrets. You are turning your inner life into gossip fodder, as if it were a currency to be spent for temporary connection. And I tell you, connection bought at this price is the prostitution of the soul. Do you think the creators of greatness, the sculptors of destiny, ran through the streets, screaming their every triumph and sorrow? No, they went into silence. They carved their solitude into weapons. They allowed the tension to build, the mystery to thicken, until their truth erupted like thunder. They spoke only when their words were fire. You are mistaking confession for freedom. You believe that to speak is to release yourself from the weight of pain. But often, to speak is merely to dissipate the energy you need to transform that pain into power. There is a secret economy of the soul. You lose strength each time. You reveal your depths to eyes that have not earned the right to look. And in your endless telling, you'd become a performer in a theater of self-betrayal. What you call authenticity is sometimes merely vanity disguised as virtue. You would call it being transparent, but I see it as self-displaying. You would reduce yourself to fragments to please an audience hungry for entertainment, not understanding. You live as if you are your own public relations agent. You spin your own narrative. You curate your existence for others. And in this performance you forget to live for yourself. Let me ask you this. Why do you fear the shadows where no applause echoes? Why does silence feel like annihilation to you? Is it because, deep down, you suspect that without witnesses, you might vanish? That without someone watching, your life means nothing? Oh, I tell you, the human herd has grown addicted to self-disclosure because it cannot bear to face the abyss of its own insignificance. It fills the void with chatter, with posts, with confessions, with streaming content, anything to keep from hearing the monstrous silence that asks, "Who are you?" when no one is watching. I tell you this, the highest spirits are hidden. The most powerful forces move unseen. There is strength in mystery. There is majesty in reticence. Do not confuse secrecy with shame. Sometimes secrecy is the armor of those destined for great things. It is the crucible in which your will hardens into iron. When you speak less, you become more. When you guard your depths, you grow deeper. When you keep your silence, you become unfathomable. And know this, people revere what they do not fully see. They bow before what they cannot completely know, but they consume and discard what lies naked before them. So, I ask you now, must you be so eager to explain yourself? Must every thought become a status update, every sorrow a story, every joy a performance? Or can you dare to hold your life close, like a secret flame, feeding it in the darkness until it becomes a blaze strong enough to light your own path? I am not here to comfort you, spirit. I am here to awaken you. I am here to remind you that your life is not a public spectacle. It is your workshop, your battlefield, your sanctuary. Let your silence be your rebellion. Let your untold story be your power. For the moment you stop telling everyone what's happening in your life, you become the master of your own fate. I challenge you, dare to become incomprehensible. Dare to speak only when your words can change the air around you. Dare to hold back, to let your presence grow heavy with unspoken meaning. Let them wonder, let them whisper, let them thirst to know the secret that glows behind your eyes, because the world does not deserve to know all of you, and only the hidden. Self is free. So tell me, spirit, what drives this hunger to expose yourself, piece by piece, to the indifferent gaze of the masses? Do you believe you are seeking connection, or is it, in truth, a disguised plea for significance? You fear being invisible. You dread that if no one knows your inner storms, they might not exist at all. And yet, in revealing yourself too soon, too often, you become nothing but a predictable script, a worn-out story, your mystery stripped bare. Let me strike deeper. With my hammer, your constant self-exposure is not a sign of courage. It is often a mark of fear. The fear of being left alone with the echo of your own thoughts. The fear of confronting that cold and merciless question. What is my life worth if no one sees it? And so you trade your privacy for crumbs of validation. You become addicted to confessions, posts, conversations where you bleed your soul in public, hoping anyone will say, "I see you." But to be seen is not the same as to be known. And the crowd sees nothing but their own reflections in you. They hear your secrets, they applaud or pity you, and then they scroll away, leaving you emptier than before. This, my friend, is the marketplace of the soul, where your inner treasures are bartered away for cheap currency. And each time you sell another piece of yourself, you grow poorer in spirit. Ask yourself, what would remain of you if your voice fell silent? If you spoke nothing of your turmoil, if you broadcast no joys nor tears, would there still be a self left behind? Or has your identity become a creature of other people's eyes? This, then, is the core of your illness. You confuse revelation with existence. You believe that to narrate your pain is to overcome it. But sometimes narration only prolongs the wound. Each retelling digs the blade deeper, makes the bleeding perpetual. You think you are processing your pain, but in truth, you are rehearsing it, branding it into your soul until it becomes your identity. I see the same impulse in the confessional religions of old. They taught that to speak your sins was to cleanse them. But I tell you, there are sins that grow stronger when named aloud. There are wounds that heal only in darkness, under the cloak of silence. Not everything must be dragged into the marketplace of sympathy and scrutiny. Your endless self-narration is also the child of another poison, resentment, a subtle venom. You speak and speak because you wish to be pitied, to show how cruel the world has been to you. You want witnesses to your suffering so you can accuse fate, accuse the gods, accuse life itself. You cloak your bitterness as honesty. But true honesty does not reek of hidden accusations. It stands silent, carrying its burden with pride. And what of your victories, your joys? You parade them before the crowd, hoping for applause. But applause, my friend, is a dangerous opiate. It trains you to perform rather than to live. It tempts you to shape your actions for maximum approval, rather than following your own path. You become a puppet, dancing for invisible masters whose only loyalty is to their own amusement. How different is the spirit who knows how to wait in silence, the one who cultivates his depths, letting his achievements ripen before revealing them. There is a power in the unseen, a force in the unspoken. When you guard your inner world, you preserve the tension that breeds greatness. Look around you. The world grows louder every day. Everyone speaks, few listen. Everyone declares their truths, few test them in solitude. It is precisely because silence has become so rare that it has become so powerful. Silence is now rebellion. Silence is now a declaration of sovereignty over oneself. And so I tell you, your life is your fortress. Each wall of silence you build is a shield against the vulgar curiosity of the herd, not because you are ashamed but because you recognize your life as a sacred workshop, not a public stage. Let me offer you an image. Picture a forge. The metal must remain hidden in the coals, unseen, absorbing heat, until it glows. Draw it out too early, expose it to the chill air, and it cracks. So it is with your soul. Keep it in the forge. Let it harden unseen. Then, when the time is right, emerge like a blade that can cut through stone. Some of you will protest, but I want to be real. I want to be authentic. And I say, there is nothing less authentic than constant explanation. There is nothing less real than a self that must always justify itself. You do not need witnesses to become yourself. In fact, you cannot become yourself as long as you are seeking them. I challenge you now, hold your tongue. Let your silence grow roots. Let others wonder who you are, what you are plotting, what passions simmer behind your eyes. Make them feel the gravity of your presence without uttering a single word, because those who can remain silent are feared. Those who speak only when they must are heard, and those who keep secrets become legends. So I dare you, stop telling everyone what's happening in your life. Become a riddle. Become an abyss into which others gaze and lose themselves. For the more of yourself you guard, the more of yourself you own. If this strikes you like lightning, then write in the comments not what you wish to reveal but what you now choose to keep hidden. Let that be your rebellion. Let that be the first act of your freedom. Let me speak more plainly. Your compulsion to narrate your life is a symptom of weakness, not of strength. It is a reflex of the herd animal who, separated from the warmth of the flock, panics in the solitude of his own thoughts, and so he bleats, calling for witnesses, calling for reassurance that he still belongs somewhere, that he still matters. But belonging is not the same as living, and approval is not the same as value. You see, there is a hidden violence in your constant storytelling, a violence against yourself, because with each retelling, you reduce yourself. You become a character in your own fiction, a simplified version, suitable for public consumption. You choose which parts to emphasize, which to omit, which to dramatize. For effect, you become your own propagandist, and you do not even realize it, because the herd cheers you on. Share more, be authentic, be vulnerable. But your so-called vulnerability has become a performance, and every performance is a lie, even if it contains pieces of truth. The moment you begin to shape your pain into something others can applaud, you betray it. You transform it into entertainment. You empty it of its true force, the force it could have to transform you. Why do I rage against this? Because I wish for you to become strong. And there is no strength in constantly seeking to be understood. The stronger the spirit, the less it demands to be understood. The stronger the will, the less it feels compelled to explain itself. It acts, it creates, and it leaves the explanations for the weak. Look at the history of great spirits. The truly sovereign beings have always been those who spoke sparingly, whose inner storms raged unseen, whose words dropped like thunder only when necessary. They knew that words are costly, that once you speak your deepest truth, it no longer belongs to you, it becomes common property, open to distortion, gossip, ridicule. So they kept silent until their silence was unbearable. Then they spoke, and the world trembled. But you, modern creature, you have been trained to believe that silence is antisocial, that secrecy is pathological, that privacy is a sign of guilt. You've been convinced that to be healthy, you must speak endlessly about yourself, your traumas, your victories, your daily trivialities. And the world has built its machines, the platforms, the feeds, the endless comment sections to exploit this urge. You live in the age of the confessional, not in the church, but in the global digital bazaar, and you willingly throw your soul into the crowd for judgment. Ask yourself, do you feel stronger after your confessions, or emptier? I know the answer. Emptier, because every time you speak your depths into ears unworthy of them, you drain your own reservoir. You dissipate the sacred tension that might have forged you into something magnificent. You trade it for a few seconds of comfort, a few digital hearts, a chorus of strangers murmuring, "You're so brave." But bravery is not in disclosure. Bravery is in holding the weight of your own being without seeking permission or validation. Bravery is in silence. Bravery is in becoming the one who cannot be fully deciphered. And here lies a darker truth. Your constant sharing makes you predictable. And what is predictable can be controlled. You reveal your weaknesses, your triggers, your dreams, your despairs, and you give the world a map to manipulate you. The more you tell, the more you become a tool in the hands of those who understand how to push your buttons. He who guards his secrets guards his freedom. You want to be free? Then stop handing your blueprint to strangers. Stop rehearsing your pain for sympathy. Let your past be your forge, not your advertisement. Think of the predators in nature. The lion stalks the savannah, revealing nothing until the moment of attack. The snake coils in silence, invisible among the leaves. Only the prey cries out, alerting the entire world to its weakness. The predator is silent. The predator is mystery incarnate. I ask you, do you wish to live as prey, announcing yourself with every whimper and confession? Or do you wish to walk the earth as a mystery, feared, respected, and unknowable? This world does not reward the truly open soul. It devours it. The world devours novelty, vulnerability, tragedy, spectacle, and when it has fed enough, it discards the remains. Remember this, the crowd does not love you, it loves its own appetite. And so I tell you once more, your life is not a public diary. Your soul is not a podcast. Your destiny is not a series of posts waiting for likes. Your life is a crucible, a battlefield, a secret poem only you are meant to read until the day your truth explodes like lightning across the sky. So hold your tongue, hoard your mysteries. Let your silence grow as thick as iron walls. Let them guess, let them gossip, let them rage that they do not know what lives inside you, because what they cannot see, they cannot control. And now, Spirit, allow me to drive the knife of questioning deeper still, for it is time for you to answer not to me, but to yourself. Why do you tell your story so incessantly? What are you afraid would happen if you fell silent? Would your existence fade, like breath upon a mirror? Would you cease to feel significant, as though you're being dependent on witnesses to confirm that it happened at all? Or is it something darker? Do you secretly wish to burden others with the weight of your chaos, so you may blame them when they fail to carry it? Is it not true that sometimes you narrate your life to avoid living it? That you wrap your days in words as a shield against the terror of acting, deciding, becoming? That it feels safer to speak about change than to enact it? And tell me this, when you confess your wounds, is it truly healing you? Seek or attention, pity, the fleeting rush of validation? If no one applauded your suffering, would you still dare to endure it in silence? Who, truly, are you performing for? The strangers online, the faceless crowd, the family whose approval you still secretly crave? Or perhaps the stern voice of your own inner judge, demanding that every feeling be documented, justified, explained? Why do you think you owe the world your every detail? Who taught you that privacy was a sin, that secrets were poisons to be purged? And here, the cruelest question: have you so emptied yourself through endless confession that you have nothing left inside but echoes of old stories? Think carefully, Spirit, for the path back to your own depth begins in silence. I will tell you this with brutal love: if you continue to expose all your inner workings to the gaze of the herd, you will never discover who you truly are, because yourself becomes shaped by their responses. You become a creature molded by applause and disapproval, by the shadows of other people's eyes. You become a reflection instead of a being. Your uniqueness dissolves into the lukewarm bath of public opinion, but the spirit destined for greatness lives differently. It withdraws. It refuses to squander its power on idle revelations. It hoards its energy like a dragon hoarding gold. The highest creators, the fiercest warriors, the most intoxicating spirits, they cultivate silence as a weapon. For in silence, your thoughts gather strength, your will sharpens, your passions forge themselves into iron. I will tell you a secret: when people do not know your entire story, they fear you, they respect you, they sense a force they cannot map. Mystery is a form of power, and power belongs to those who dare to guard it. Let me offer you an image. Imagine a temple standing alone in a high mountain pass. The winds howl around it, but no one enters unless invited. Its doors remain closed to the idle and the curious. Only the worthy are permitted beyond its gates. And what is hidden inside? A single flame, guarded and precious, burning fiercely. In the darkness, that flame is your inner life. Do not let the tourists trample its sanctuary. The world will demand you explain yourself. Resist it. Let them grow uneasy in your presence. Let your silence be the echoing halls of your temple. And here is another brutal truth. People grow bored quickly with those who talk too much about themselves. Your endless storytelling will not make you cherished, it will make you disposable. For the crowd has no loyalty. It is always hungry for the next confession, the next sob story, the next drama. And once they have devoured your secrets, they will look for fresher meat. And what will remain of you? So I say this to you, my daring spirit: become difficult to read. Speak less, withhold more. Let the value of your words rise like gold because of their rarity. Let your silence speak volumes that your tongue could never shape, because there is nothing more magnetic than the human being who keeps something back, the one who does not show all his cards, the one who allows his depths to remain unseen. And remember, the world respects what it cannot easily possess. It despises what it sees too plainly. And so, Spirit, we stand now at the edge of the abyss together. This is the place I love most, for it is here, at the brink, that the masks fall and the air crackles with possibility. And here, I ask you to decide: will you remain a creature, forever spilling yourself into the void, hoping someone might echo back your existence? Or will you become the silent architect of your own fortress, guarding your flames, your secrets, your yet unborn futures? I see the trembling in you, the doubt, and I understand it, because the world has seduced you into believing that silence is a prison and confession is freedom, that to share is to heal, that to reveal is to prove you exist. They taught you that solitude is loneliness, that privacy is shame, that mystery is some archaic sin from darker ages. And so you open your veins in public, bleeding your essence into the hungry sea of watchers, who do not truly see you. But let me whisper a dangerous truth into your ear. Every time you share yourself too easily, you are paying a price. You are giving away power. You are squandering the sacred tension that might have made you strong enough to bend fate itself. You are bartering away your depths for shallow sympathy and applause. And do you know the cruelest part? The world devours your story, digests it, and then forgets you the moment a fresher drama appears. The crowd is fickle. Its love is a wind that changes direction without warning. And the one who has laid bare every corner of his soul to the crowd becomes, in the end, a hollow relic of curiosity, a brief amusement, a memory fading from the collective mind. So I say again, there is no virtue in constant disclosure. There is no nobility in narrating every flicker of your thoughts, every bruise of your heart, every twist in your personal narrative. This is not freedom. It is performance. It is servitude. It is slavery to the gaze of others. And I, who have smashed so many idols, tell you this: your compulsion to explain yourself is yet another idol, gleaming and false, demanding sacrifice after sacrifice of your life force. But there is another way, spirit, a path for the strong, for the creators, for those destined not merely to live but to forge life into something new. That path is silence, not the silence of the coward who hides from the world, but the silence of the warrior who waits until the time to strike, the silence of the sculptor who guards the shape of his creation until it is ready to be unveiled, the silence of the star that burns unseen for eons before blazing into the night sky. Understand me. Suffering is not a stain you must scrub away by confessing it. Suffering is a crucible. It burns away your dross. It tempers your will. It forges you into something rare and indestructible. Keep your wounds close. Let them whisper their dark lessons to you. Let them carve channels into your depths where strength can flow. Not every scar must be displayed. Some must remain unseen, pulsing with quiet power beneath your skin. And joy, joy, needs no advertisement. True joy blooms in silence. It radiates from your very being, needing no explanation, no applause. The sun does not bellow to prove it shines, nor should you. The strongest joy glows softly, quietly, a flame that feeds itself. I tell you this, greatness has a rhythm. It breathes in silence and speaks only when the air is ready to carry its words like thunder. The highest spirits know how to vanish into their own shadows, to become invisible, until they erupt in a single gesture that transforms the world. You must become like the gathering storm cloud. It grows heavy and dark, swelling with potential, invisible to those who are blind to subtlety, till suddenly it breaks, and lightning splits the sky, and all who witness it are left trembling. That is how you must wield your words, your revelations, not as a constant drizzle, but as bolts of lightning that scorch the earth, because every drop of drizzle is forgotten, but one stroke of lightning ignites entire forests. So I tell you, speak only when your words are weapons, when they carry the force of your true will. Otherwise, let silence be your fortress, your shield, your crucible, because there is more power in what remains unsaid than in 10,000 words poured out into the void. Let me give you another vision. Imagine a temple on a high mountain, hidden in the swirling mists. The winds howl around it, but none may enter unless invited. Its gates remain closed to the idle and the curious. Only those who endured the climb, those who arrive breathless and transformed, are allowed beyond the threshold. And within that temple burns a single flame, guarded, precious, fierce. That flame is your inner life. Do not let strangers trample the sacred floors of your temple. Do not let the crowd come in with muddy boots, demanding entertainment from your holy fire. The world will always demand that you explain yourself. Resist it. Let them grow uncomfortable in your silence. Let your silence become the echoing halls of your temple, in which only you walk freely. Because here is the secret. Those who speak less are listened to more. Those who reveal less are valued more. Those who guard their depths become legends, because they remain inexhaustible. There is always more of them hidden away, just beyond sight. And it is this hiddenness that makes the world lean forward in curiosity, in reverence, in fear. Remember this eternal law. The world respects what it cannot easily possess. It disdains what it sees too plainly. So I say this, spirit, become hard to read. Let your soul become a book written in a cipher that only you can understand. Let your silence grow weighty, a presence as real as a mountain. Let your gaze suggest depths that words could never capture. For what they cannot see, they cannot control. What they cannot predict, they cannot imprison. And you were not born merely to narrate your existence. You were born to transform yourself, to sculpt yourself into a force that leaves footprints in the fabric of fate. And that sculpting, that becoming, happens not under the glare of the spotlight, but in the cool darkness of your own silent forge. So hold your tongue, until your tongue becomes a blade. Let your deeds speak. Let your silence hum with the tension of unspoken power. Let the world strain to guess what suns you hide behind your eyes, what storms you have yet to unleash. Because only the hidden self is truly free. Only the hidden self is sovereign. Only the hidden self can become the creator of new values, the Bermensch. And if these words have ignited something within you, I challenge you, do not reveal it. Let that flame burn quietly in your chest. Let it grow. Let it become the heat that shapes you into who you must become. You no longer need to narrate yourself to exist. You exist because you will yourself into being. You are no longer a creature. You are becoming a creator. And that, my spirit, is the first breath of true freedom.